We all have busy lives, and sometimes leaving your dog alone is unavoidable. But did you know that small mistakes in your routine could be making things harder for your furry friend than you realize? In this video, I'll show you 12 mistakes that many dog owners make without realizing it. Mistakes that can lead to stress, destructive behavior, or even long-term emotional issues. More importantly, I'll show you what to do instead, so your dog stays calm, entertained, and safe while you're away. Mistake number 1. Leaving your dog with too much pent-up energy before departure. Picture this. You walk through your front door after a long day and find your couch cushions shredded, your favorite shoes chewed to bits, and scratch marks running down your bedroom door. Your dog greets you with that guilty look, and you wonder what went wrong. The answer usually comes down to one critical mistake most owners make without even realizing it. When dogs have excess energy bottled up inside them, it builds pressure like a steam cooker with no release valve. They pace, they stress, and eventually that energy explodes into destruction. Without proper physical activity, their stress hormones spike dramatically, turning your calm pet into an anxious wrecking ball. Here's what many people overlook. Your dog should get a good dose of exercise and mental stimulation before you leave. A well-exercised dog is more likely to relax and nap instead of looking for trouble. High-energy breeds such as Border Collies benefit from a solid game of fetch or short agility drills, while smaller dogs do well with a brisk neighborhood walk. Even getting up 15 minutes earlier for a quick walk makes a huge difference. Mistake number 2. Not setting up a camera or any way to check on your dog. Most dog owners have absolutely no clue what their dogs actually do when left alone at home. You might think your pup is peacefully napping all day, but the reality could be completely different. Hidden problems develop and get worse when you can't see what's happening, turning small issues into major behavioral disasters. Modern pet cameras have become incredibly affordable, and they're now essential tools for responsible dog ownership. You can pick up a decent camera for under $50 and connect it to your Wi-Fi in minutes. Place it in a spot where your dog spends most of their time, and you're ready to monitor everything. These cameras do way more than just let you watch your dog. They help you recognize behavior patterns that signal problems before they get out of hand. Motion alerts notify you immediately when something unusual happens, and some cameras even detect barking or whining sounds. You can identify triggers that cause anxiety, track how long your dog paces or pants, and spot destructive behaviors the moment they start. This information helps you make targeted changes to your dog's environment and routine, strengthening your bond through better understanding of their needs. Mistake number 3. Not dog-proofing your home. Pet emergency rooms see thousands of cases every year where dogs got into dangerous items while home alone. These accidents happen in homes where owners thought they were being careful, but missed hazards hiding in plain sight throughout their house. Walk through your living room and you'll spot electrical cords, remote controls, and houseplants that could poison your dog. Your kitchen holds cleaning products under the sink, medications on counters, and small objects like bottle caps that pose choking risks. Even your bathroom contains razors, soap, and hair products that dogs find interesting when they're bored. Chocolates sitting on coffee tables, grapes left on counters, and xylitol-containing gum in purses become deadly temptations. Seasonal decorations add new dangers like tinsel, ornaments, and holiday plants that dogs normally ignore but suddenly explore when anxiety kicks in. Start in your kitchen by installing baby-proof latches on cabinets containing cleaning supplies and securing trash cans with tight-fitting lids. Move all medications to locked drawers and keep food items in sealed containers or high cabinets. Cover electrical outlets and secure loose cords behind furniture. Your bedroom needs shoe storage in closets and jewelry tucked away in boxes. Living areas require houseplants moved to unreachable spots and small decorative items stored safely. A properly dog-proofed environment actually calms anxious dogs by eliminating their ability to get into trouble, creating a secure space where they can truly relax. Mistake number 4. Not leaving fresh water before you go. Here's the thing that will shock you. Dogs can become dangerously dehydrated in just a few hours, especially when temperatures rise or they're feeling stressed. Your dog can't walk over and tell you they're thirsty, which makes them completely dependent on what you've set up before leaving. Most owners miss the early warning signs. When dogs get dehydrated, their gums become sticky, their skin loses elasticity, and they start panting more than usual. You can test this by gently pinching the skin on their neck. If it doesn't snap back quickly, they need water immediately. The setup matters more than you think. Your dog needs approximately half to 1 ounce of water for every pound of body weight each day. This amount can vary depending on how active they are and the temperature around them. Place the bowl in a cool spot away from direct sunlight and make sure it's heavy enough that your dog can't tip it over. Always leave a backup water source in case the main bowl gets knocked over or runs dry. Mistake number 5. Leaving your dog in an environment that's too hot or too cold. Thousands of dogs experience temperature-related stress every day while their owners have no idea it's happening. Your dog can't walk over to the thermostat and adjust it when they're uncomfortable, which puts them at serious risk when you're away. Dogs regulate their body temperature completely differently than humans do. They cool down mainly through panting and tiny sweat glands in their paws, which makes them way more vulnerable to getting too hot or too cold. When temperatures get extreme, they can develop heat stroke or hypothermia fast. Most dogs feel comfortable indoors when the temperature is between 68 and 78 degrees Fahrenheit. However, this can vary depending on the dog's breed and size. Smaller dogs and those with thin coats need warmer temperatures, while thick-coated breeds prefer it cooler. Senior dogs often need extra attention since their temperature regulation isn't as strong. Watch for warning signs like excessive panting, drooling, shivering, or unusual lethargy. These symptoms often get mistaken for anxiety or boredom, but they're actually your dog telling you the temperature is wrong. Use programmable thermostats and fans to keep costs down while maintaining comfort in your dog's main living area. Mistake number 6. Leaving your dog alone for extended periods without breaks. When dogs spend too many hours isolated, their mental state deteriorates rapidly. What starts as mild anxiety transforms into genuine psychological distress that affects every aspect of their behavior and health. Dogs experience time completely differently than humans do. While you might think 8 hours feels reasonable, your dog experiences that isolation as an eternity of worry and confusion. Extended solitude becomes psychological torture for these naturally social animals who depend on companionship for emotional stability. Young puppies generally handle at most about 2 hours alone before they need interaction and bathroom breaks. Adult dogs over 18 months can manage 4 to 8 hours, but 8 hours should be the absolute limit. Senior dogs with health issues often need shorter periods between 2 and 6 hours based on their individual conditions. Over-isolation creates cascading problems that get worse over time. Dogs develop depression, lose interest in activities they once enjoyed, and show increased lethargy. Destructive behaviors emerge as stress outlets, along with excessive barking and changes in eating patterns. Dog walkers and daycare services provide realistic solutions for busy schedules. Start building tolerance gradually with short separations and slowly increase duration while monitoring stress signals. Mistake number 7. Leaving your dog bored and unstimulated. Most owners completely miss the connection between their dog's destructive behavior and simple boredom. When your dog tears up furniture or barks excessively while you're away, they're not being spiteful. They're desperately trying to stimulate their minds because there's nothing else to do. Intelligent dogs need mental challenges just as much as physical exercise. Working breeds like Border Collies and German Shepherds were bred to solve problems all day long. Without mental engagement, their brains start looking for entertainment in your shoes, furniture, and anything else they can find. Many common solutions fall short because they don't actually challenge your dog's mind. A basic chew toy might occupy them for 20 minutes, but puzzle feeders and treat dispensing toys make them think and work for rewards. Kong toys stuffed with frozen peanut butter can keep dogs busy for over an hour. Boredom shows up differently in each dog. Some become destructive while others get withdrawn and lethargic. High-energy breeds might pace constantly, while smaller dogs might dig at carpets or scratch doors. Interactive puzzle toys, snuffle mats, and hidden treat games tap into your dog's natural instincts to hunt and forage. These activities create mental fatigue that can tire dogs out as effectively as a long walk. A mentally exhausted dog sleeps peacefully instead of looking for trouble. Mistake number 8. Making departures and arrivals overly emotional or dramatic. Here's the truth that might surprise you. Those emotional goodbyes where you hug and kiss your dog before leaving actually make separation anxiety worse, not better. When you make a big production out of departing, your dog reads this as a signal that something significant and potentially worrying is about to happen. Dogs are masters at reading human emotions through what scientists call canine emotional contagion. They mirror your feelings, so when you act stressed or overly affectionate before leaving, you're essentially telling your dog that your departure is something to be concerned about. This creates anticipation and stress that builds every time you reach for your keys. The psychology behind neutral departures works because dogs take cues from you about how to react. If you treat leaving like it's no big deal, they learn to see it the same way. Skip the dramatic farewell speeches and excessive petting. Instead, simply say a calm "see you later" and walk out. The same rule applies when you return home. Wait for your dog to settle down before giving attention. This boring routine teaches them that departures and arrivals are normal, everyday events rather than emotional roller coasters worth getting worked up about. And now, before we move on, just know that if you visit happydogsplace.com/gift, you can download a free guide packed with tips to make your dog's life even happier. It's full of fun ideas, helpful strategies, and all the basics every pup needs to thrive. You'll find the link in the description. Mistake number 9. Not addressing your dog's separation anxiety. Separation anxiety sneaks up on dogs gradually, starting with subtle changes that most owners brush off as temporary adjustments. Your dog might start following you around more than usual or seem extra excited when you grab your keys, but these early signs often get ignored until the behavior escalates into something more serious. The physical and mental damage from untreated separation anxiety goes far beyond what most people realize. Dogs lose their appetite, develop digestive issues, and can even hurt themselves through excessive licking or chewing. The constant stress weakens their immune system and leads to depression that affects their entire quality of life. Early warning signs include increased clinginess, changes in eating habits when you're preparing to leave, and restlessness during your departure routine. Many owners mistake these behaviors for normal adjustment periods instead of recognizing them as anxiety symptoms. Normal alone time adjustment means your dog stays calm and comfortable during reasonable separations. Clinical separation anxiety involves intense panic, destructive behavior, and persistent distress that doesn't improve over time. Desensitization techniques work by gradually exposing your dog to departure triggers while rewarding calm responses. Start with very short separations and slowly increase duration while always associating alone time with positive experiences, like special treats. Mistake number 10. Not securing dangerous items or rooms before leaving. Emergency veterinary clinics report thousands of cases annually where dogs ingest dangerous household items while left unsupervised. These accidents happen fast and cost owners thousands in medical bills, not to mention the trauma to your pet. Even careful owners miss hazards that become irresistible to bored or anxious dogs. Seasonal dangers multiply the risks. Antifreeze spills in winter taste sweet but kill quickly, while spring fertilizers and fall decorations create new temptations throughout the year. Your bathroom medicine cabinet becomes a treasure hunt for curious dogs who can pop open pill bottles. Kitchen cabinets hold cleaning products that dogs access by learning to open child-proof latches. Living rooms contain small batteries, coins, and jewelry that dogs swallow when exploring. Dogs solve problems better than most people realize. They figure out how to open cabinets, climb onto counters, and reach supposedly secure areas when motivated by interesting smells or boredom. Simple baby locks won't stop determined dogs for long. Secure medications in locked metal boxes, not just high shelves. Store cleaning chemicals in their original containers inside locked cabinets. Remove all small objects from accessible areas and cover electrical cords completely. Keep your veterinarian's emergency number and the ASPCA Poison Control Center contact information, where you can find them quickly. If dangerous ingestion happens while you're away, every minute counts for successful treatment. Mistake number 11. Leaving without an emergency plan or backup contact. Emergencies happen when dogs are home alone, and every single minute counts towards saving your pet's life. The scary truth is that most owners leave their dogs without any backup plan, which means precious time gets wasted when something goes wrong. Common emergencies during alone time include choking on objects, injuries from falls, sudden illnesses, or ingesting toxic substances. Dogs can also experience heat stroke, seizures, or panic attacks that require immediate intervention. Your emergency plan needs several key components that most owners never think about. Create a detailed contact sheet with your veterinarian's number, the nearest emergency animal hospital, and the ASPCA Animal Poison Control Center. Include your dog's medical history, current medications, and any known allergies. Set up a trusted neighbor as your primary emergency contact with a spare house key and clear instructions. This person needs your vet information and should know where you keep emergency supplies like first aid kits and medications. Smart cameras with motion detection can automatically send alerts when unusual activity occurs. Some systems detect excessive barking or signs of distress and immediately notify your emergency contacts, creating an early warning system that could save your dog's life. Mistake number 12. Punishing your dog after coming home to a mess. This heartbreaking cycle happens in homes everywhere. Dogs act out when left alone. Owners return to find destruction. Punishment follows, and the dog becomes even more anxious and destructive the next time. What makes this so tragic is that punishing your dog after coming home to a mess actually makes the problem worse, not better. Dogs live in the present moment and can't connect punishment to actions they took hours earlier when you weren't even there. When you scold your dog for chewing your shoes, they have absolutely no idea why you're angry. Instead, they start associating your arrival home with negative experiences, which increases their anxiety about being left alone. This creates psychological damage that escalates problems over time. Your dog begins dreading your return and becomes more stressed during alone time, leading to increased destructive behaviors as an outlet for their anxiety. That guilty look you think proves your dog knows what they did wrong is actually fear and appeasement behavior. Dogs display lowered ears, averted eyes, and tucked tails because they're responding to your angry tone and body language, not confessing to past actions. Focus on prevention instead of punishment. Increase exercise and mental stimulation before leaving. Dog-proof your space and clean up messes without scolding. Reward calm behavior when you return to rebuild positive associations with your arrivals. 5 ways to keep your dog occupied while you're away. Your dog's alone time doesn't have to mean hours of boredom and stress. With the right approach, you can transform those empty hours into mentally stimulating experiences that actually benefit your dog's development and emotional well-being. The key is turning passive waiting time into active engagement by tapping into what dogs are naturally programmed to do. Mental stimulation works just as effectively as physical exercise for tiring out your dog, and activities that involve searching, chewing, and environmental observation satisfy the same instincts dogs used for survival. First, food-stuffed toys like Kongs or lick mats keep dogs busy for extended periods while providing satisfaction. Fill a Kong with peanut butter, yogurt, or wet food and freeze it overnight. This creates a puzzle that takes serious effort to solve and can occupy your dog for over an hour. Second, snuffle mats activate your dog's powerful sense of smell and natural foraging behavior. These textured mats hide treats among the fabric strips, encouraging dogs to sniff for rewards. You can make a do-it-yourself version by tying fleece strips through a rubber mat. Third, hidden food games around the house encourage problem-solving and movement throughout your space. Place small treats in different rooms, under furniture edges or inside cardboard boxes. This creates a treasure hunt that keeps dogs moving and thinking instead of sitting idle. Fourth, giving your dog access to a window provides visual stimulation that reduces boredom significantly. Dogs love watching outdoor activity like pedestrians, squirrels, and passing cars. Position a comfortable bed or cushion near the window so they can settle in for their entertainment. Fifth, rotating toys regularly maintains novelty and prevents habituation. Keep several sets of toys and swap them every few days. What seems boring on Monday becomes exciting again by Friday when it reappears. Each strategy targets different aspects of canine behavior and engages different senses. Chewing reduces stress hormones naturally. Sniffing satisfies deep instinctual needs. Visual stimulation keeps curiosity engaged. And variety prevents dogs from losing interest in their environment. When implementing these strategies, start with supervision to ensure safety with new toys. Tailor each method to your dog's specific needs. High-energy breeds need more challenging puzzles, while senior dogs benefit from gentler activities. Cost-effective alternatives work just as well as expensive products when you understand the underlying principles. The real power comes from combining multiple strategies and rotating them throughout the week. Use frozen cams on Monday, snuffle mats on Tuesday, hidden treats on Wednesday, and so on. This approach keeps your dog mentally challenged and emotionally balanced, turning alone time into productive enrichment rather than stressful isolation. What to avoid when you return home? The first few minutes after you walk through your door can either reinforce your dog's calm behavior or restart the entire anxiety cycle all over again. What you do in those crucial moments determines whether your dog learns to stay relaxed during alone time or becomes increasingly stressed about your departures. Those enthusiastic greetings that feel so loving actually work against you. When you make a big fuss over your return, your dog interprets your excitement as proof that something major happened while you were gone. This teaches them that your absence is worth getting worked up about, which increases their anxiety for next time. The proper approach involves staying completely calm and low-key when you return. Keep your energy neutral, avoid eye contact initially, and don't give attention until your dog settles down. This timing teaches them that calm behavior earns rewards while excitement gets ignored. Read your dog's state when you return and adjust accordingly. If they're bouncing off the walls, wait longer before acknowledging them. If they seem anxious or withdrawn, offer gentle reassurance once they've calmed down. Short trips and long workdays should get the same neutral treatment. Making your return seem like no big deal helps your dog understand that your absence is normal and predictable. Consistent return routines build your dog's confidence over time. When they can predict exactly how you'll act when you return, they stop worrying about what your departure means and develop genuine independence. How to train your dog to be alone. You can teach any dog to be comfortable alone using a systematic approach that works whether you're starting with a puppy learning independence or helping an adult dog overcome separation issues. The key is understanding that dogs learn to feel secure alone through gradual, positive experiences that build their confidence, step by step. Dogs develop comfort with solitude when they associate your absence with good things happening. Start by giving your dog something special like a frozen Kong or their favorite chew toy, then leave for just 3 to 5 minutes. This short duration prevents anxiety while creating positive connections between your departure and rewards. The training progression moves from seconds to hours over several weeks. Begin with 30-second departures, then advance to 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, and so on. Only increase duration when your dog remains calm during the current time frame. If you see panting, pacing, or whining, step back to shorter periods and build up more slowly. Watch for signs that tell you when to advance or retreat in training. Calm behavior like sleeping, chewing toys, or relaxing means you can extend the time. Stress signals like excessive drooling, destructive behavior, or vocalization mean you need to shorten sessions and progress more gradually. Common obstacles include regression after successful periods, plateaus where progress stalls, and individual challenges based on breed or personality. Some dogs need longer at each stage, while others advance quickly. Adjust your timeline based on your dog's responses rather than rushing the process. Baby gates help during training because dogs can still see and hear you while learning to stay in separate spaces. Scatter treats before stepping away so they focus on positive activities instead of your movement. This training builds confidence that extends far beyond alone time. Dogs who master independence show increased self-assurance in new situations, better problem-solving skills, and reduced anxiety overall. A well-trained dog understands you'll return and can cope with your absence because they've learned that being alone is safe and manageable through consistent, positive experiences. Best and worst dog breeds for being left alone. Breed characteristics play a massive role in determining how well your dog handles alone time, and this factor gets overlooked way too often. Some dogs are genetically wired for independence, while others are bred specifically to stick close to humans all day long. The genetic differences run deep and affect everything about how dogs cope with solitude. Independent breeds like Basset Hounds, Chow Chows, and Sharpies were developed to work alone and make their own decisions. These dogs naturally feel comfortable spending hours by themselves, because independence is built into their DNA. On the flip side, breeds that struggle with alone time include Vizslas, German Shepherds, and most toy breeds like Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. These dogs were bred for constant human companionship and feel genuinely distressed when separated from their families. Working dog backgrounds create interesting patterns in alone time tolerance. Herding breeds like Border Collies can handle solitude if they get enough mental stimulation, but they'll destroy your house if they're bored. Guardian breeds like Great Pyrenees were bred to work independently, but still need their families nearby for emotional security. Pack mentality varies dramatically between breeds, too. Beagles and other hounds struggle because they're used to working in groups, while breeds like Akitas prefer smaller social circles and adapt better to quiet time. For challenging breeds, you need specific strategies. High-energy working dogs need puzzle toys and frozen Kongs to keep their minds busy. Companion breeds benefit from gradual training that builds confidence slowly over weeks. Mixed-breed dogs should be evaluated individually because their personality often matters more than their breed background. For example, a Labrador Retriever and Pit Bull mix might inherit the Labrador's friendly and people-focused nature, or the Pit Bull's more independent and confident traits. That's why it's so important to observe your dog's actual behavior instead of making assumptions based on their breed mix. Should you get a second dog? Most dog owners assume that getting a second dog automatically fixes loneliness and separation anxiety problems. The logic seems simple. If your dog is lonely when you're gone, another dog should provide companionship and solve the issue completely. Unfortunately, adding another dog can make problems significantly worse instead of better. Dogs with existing separation anxiety don't magically become calm when you introduce a companion. Instead, they often transfer their intense attachment from you to the new dog, creating a whole new set of complications. When anxious dogs become overly dependent on their canine companion, both dogs can end up stressed when left alone together. The original dog might panic when separated from their new friend, while the companion dog feels overwhelmed by the constant attention and neediness. A second dog works best when your current dog already handles alone time reasonably well, but just seems bored or understimulated. Dogs with good social skills and stable temperaments typically benefit from companionship more than anxious or reactive dogs. Before bringing home another dog, honestly evaluate your current dog's behavior and stress levels. Address existing separation anxiety first through proper training and environmental changes. If you decide to proceed, introduce the dogs gradually in neutral territory and provide separate resources like beds, toys, and feeding areas. Success depends on compatible personalities and energy levels rather than hoping one dog will fix the other's problems. Alright, now that we've covered these 12 mistakes you must never make when leaving your dog alone, I want you to keep learning about your furry friend. That's why I recommend you watch this other video popping up on screen. In it, I explain 50 things that make dogs happy. Tap the image to open the video and learn about each one.